feeling overwhelmed. Like you're always chasing that next win in this crazy legal world.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Absolutely.
But what if there's a different way to approach success?
Yeah.
Not the typical goal-setting to-do list kind of way.
Right.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into Scott Adams' book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big.
Interesting.
See if his strategies can help us lawyers find a better path.
Okay, so Adams, he's the creator of Dilbert, right?
Yeah, the Dilbert.
Yeah. And he has this whole thing about systems, not goals.
This is over goals.
Yeah, it's like a total mind shift. But it could really change how we work and how we succeed.
I got to admit, I'm a to-do list fanatic. But I'm curious.
Yeah.
How does this systems thing work for a lawyer?
Okay, so think about how you prep for a case.
Yeah.
You're laser focused on winning.
Of course. That's the goal.
But what if, instead of that one big goal, you built a system?
Like what?
Like you always do super thorough research every single time.
Okay.
And you prep your witnesses like they're going to be grilled.
Makes sense.
And you think about the other side's arguments before they even make them.
Oh, I see. So you build a process that makes you more likely to win, even if you don't win every single case.
Exactly. It's a winning formula, step by step.
I like that.
Yeah.
But hold on. What about passion? We're always told to follow our passion.
Right, right. Find your passion.
Does Adams just throw that out the window?
Well, he kind of flips it on its head. He says passion often comes after you succeed.
Really?
You get more passionate about things you're good at, things that bring you wins.
So instead of waiting for this, like, magical passion to hit you, you focus on getting good at things, building skills.
Exactly. That's where the excitement comes from.
Interesting. But doesn't that clash with how law school trains us to specialize?
Not really.
Okay.
Adams talks about this thing called skill stacking.
Skill stacking.
Yeah. It's basically combining different skills, even if you're not, like, the best at any one of them. Like, you already have legal knowledge, right?
Yeah, sure.
But add some financial know-how, boom, you can advise clients on big business deals.
Makes sense.
Throw in some killer negotiation skills, and you're a settlement machine.
Okay. So every new skill makes you more valuable.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Being a lawyer can be stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Burnout is huge.
Absolutely.
Does Adams talk about that whole well-being side of things?
Definitely.
Okay.
He says happiness is something you can actually, work on.
Work on happiness.
Yeah. He literally has a formula for it.
A formula.
Happiness equals health plus freedom.
Health plus freedom, huh?
Yeah. So he prioritizes sleep, eating well, exercise, and having a flexible schedule.
Wait, hold on. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
Flexible schedule.
Well, it's more about finding ways to fit those things in.
Because late nights and coffee binges, that's just lawyer life.
Yeah. Right. But those things take a toll.
Yeah.
Adam says even small changes, little systems for taking care of yourself, those can be huge.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. It's about building a sustainable career, not just sprinting towards the next deadline.
Right. It's a long game.
But how do you convince a lawyer drowning in cases that sleep and green smoothies are the key to winning?
It's all about energy. Adam says your energy level is the most important thing to pay attention to.
More important than, like, winning cases.
For both success and happiness, yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. Low energy, you're less motivated, can't focus.
Right.
You make mistakes, you get negative.
Yeah, makes sense. But it's not just physical energy.
So mental, too. Mental stamina.
Like being able to keep going when things are crazy.
Exactly.
Which is pretty much every day for a lawyer.
Yeah, so you got to learn to manage your energy.
Okay, how do we do that?
It's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about building little habits, like getting enough sleep, even if it's just 30 minutes more.
Okay.
And swapping that sugary snack for something with protein. And moving around, even if it's just a walk at lunch.
This sounds kind of like common sense.
It is, but we forget about it.
Yeah.
Adams just reminds us that these simple things are actually super important for success.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here. Small changes add up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about being more focused, more resilient, more successful by making these little tweaks to your routine.
You got it.
This is giving me a whole new way to think about work and, honestly, life in general. We've covered a lot, but there's so much more to unpack in Adams's approach, especially for us lawyers.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing called association programming that I want to dig into.
Interesting.
It sounds kind of like you are who you hang out with. But for lawyers...
We'll get into that.
Sounds good. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll explore how association programming can help us level up our legal game. All right, so before the break, we were talking about association programming.
Right.
It sounds kind of like you are who you hang out with,
Yeah, kinda.
but for lawyers.
It is about who you spend time with, but it's also about recognizing how your environment shapes you.
So like if all your colleagues are complaining about clients and judges,
Yeah.
you're going to be more negative too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be tough to stay positive when everyone around you is like drowning in negativity.
Okay, so how do we turn this into an advantage?
Hmm.
Should we only be friends with lawyers who are like ridiculously optimistic?
Not necessarily. It's more about being aware of the company you keep
Okay,
and trying to connect with people who inspire you, people who challenge you to be better.
so like if you're surrounded by ambitious lawyers,
Yeah.
people who are always learning and pushing themselves.
Exactly. That energy, it rubs off on you.
Yeah. I've heard that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
That's it.
So in this case, you want to raise that average by hanging out with legal rock stars.
Exactly.
So for law students, that could mean finding a study group with the most driven classmates,
Yeah. Or finding mentors who are killing it in their field.
or going to networking events to meet inspiring lawyers.
All of that.
So it's about building a network that helps you grow.
Right. It's especially important when you're just starting out.
But what about lawyers who are already established?
It's never too late to upgrade your network.
Yep.
Join professional organizations, go to conferences,
Uh-huh.
even just connect with colleagues you admire.
Learn from the best, right?
Yeah,
It's like a legal mastermind group.
exactly. And just watching how successful people operate, you can learn so much from that.
Like, pay attention to their habits, their work ethic.
Their communication style, even their body language.
It's like having a cheat sheet for success.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
But Adams also talks about understanding business and finance,
Right.
even if you're not starting your own firm. Why is that?
Because at the end of the day, law is a business. Even if you're not running the show, understanding the basics makes you a more valuable asset.
Okay.
Knowing how to read financial statements, basic marketing, contract negotiation,
Those are all helpful skills.
it gives you more control, more power.
Adds to that skill stack we were talking about.
Exactly.
Makes you a more well-rounded lawyer.
Right. And that brings us to communication.
Communication. Seems kind of obvious, right?
You'd think so,
But it's super important for lawyers.
especially lawyers. Adams actually says good grammar is worth investing in.
Okay, now you sound like my high school English teacher.
Haha.
But I get it. Bad grammar, it can make you look bad, even if you have great arguments.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about being professional. And that leads us to persuasion.
Persuasion, the heart of lawyering, right?
Pretty much. You're always trying to persuade someone.
Judges, juries, opposing counsel.
Even your own clients sometimes.
So true. But law school teaches us how to argue.
It does, but Adams suggests there's always room for improvement.
Like what?
He talks about the power of framing.
Framing.
Yeah, it's about how you present information.
Like the glass half full or half empty.
Exactly. How you frame an issue changes how people react.
So instead of just stating the facts,
You present them in a way that gets a specific response.
like telling a story, but with legal arguments.
That's a great way to put it.
So a good lawyer might frame a case to emphasize fairness.
Right. Or they might frame a negotiation to make their offer seem better.
This is fascinating.
It's not about trickery, though.
Okay.
It's about understanding how people think and using that knowledge ethically.
To get the best result for your client.
Exactly. And that brings us to something else Adams talks about. Simplicity.
Simplicity in law.
I know, it sounds strange.
Law is all about complexity, right?
You'd think so. But Adams says that even in law, simplicity can be powerful.
So you're saying cut through all the legal jargon.
Yeah. Get straight to the point.
Like when you're talking to a jury,
Exactly. They don't need to know every little law.
just the story.
The story that makes them connect with the case. And it works for legal writing, too.
Oh yeah, make your arguments clear and simple.
And for strategy, for problem solving, for everything.
It's like taking something super complicated and making it easy to understand,
Makes it more persuasive, too.
especially for clients who don't speak lawyer.
Exactly.
But this simplicity thing, it goes beyond just communication, right?
Right. Think about time management, organization,
Tell me about it.
all those emails, the paperwork.
It never ends.
That's where systems come in again.
Okay.
Streamline your workflow, get rid of distractions.
So like time blocking, setting priorities.
Yeah, all those things.
Even just turning off email notifications.
Exactly. You got to protect your time and energy.
Focus on the things that really matter.
Right. And don't be afraid to say no.
No to things that drain you, that don't help you.
Exactly.
This is making me think I need to simplify my own systems.
That's the point.
It's not about doing more.
It's about making what you're already doing better.
Okay, so we've talked about systems, skills, energy.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing Adams talks about, and it's kind of surprising.
Oh, yeah.
Luck. I mean, after all this talk about hard work and systems,
Uh-huh.
you're saying luck matters too.
Adam says it plays a bigger role than we think.
So should we just, like, buy a lottery ticket and hope for the best?
Not exactly.
Okay.
It's more about creating systems that make you luckier,
What do you mean?
like by expanding your network,
Okay.
learning new skills, taking risks.
So putting yourself out there more.
The more you do that, the more chances you have to get lucky.
Makes sense, like going to a conference and meeting a new client.
Exactly.
Or a law student volunteering and making a connection that leads to a job.
It happens all the time.
And this is where the energy thing comes back in, right?
Yeah, if you're energized, you're more likely to be proactive
To take advantage of opportunities.
and to make those lucky connections.
So good energy attracts good luck.
You could say that it's about creating positive momentum. So taking care of your health and happiness.
It's not just about feeling good.
It sets you up for success.
Wow. This has been a really insightful look at Scott Adams' ideas.
Yeah, it's a different way of thinking about success.
We've challenged some of the usual advice,
And learn some practical strategies
especially for lawyers.
for building a career and a life you love.
So remember, build the right systems, manage your energy,
And create an environment that helps you grow.
even if you make mistakes along the way.
You can still win big by focusing on the things that matter.
That's a great message to end on. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It was a pleasure.
See you next time for another deep dive into something fascinating.